great salute. This Sylvester Kwasi Bekoe. Oyalo. Thank you, my viewers, audience. Thank you so much for joining us. We're having a little command challenge, and it will be interesting to also know that I continue to be myself. I am not a twin brother to what this is preparing with. You realize that you cannot give a Freemason as an honorable person to what? To somebody who has not learned or somebody who is without works. That you may ask of intelligence, dominion, white or light. That's why the Bible to learn so if you that way you're going to or you have reserved, which is the Lord. How can the Lord that you claim made the world, how can he give a book to prophet that you were calling Moses or Moise? And then that same prophet, his book that was given, when the human being read it, you will say that he has seen. This is so complete what the third direction also with the fourth, where I'm still here. Not that I'm as you want to think it is. I continue to be here, not in a puzzle as you think, but it's beyond understanding what they were trying to say. Now look at this. Those things that are doing is different. That is the challenge. If you can get you will never say that the law or the laws of this world is to be what? Disregarded or to be credited to the claim of being a Lord or a God. Now, I have had a battle with the gods. You think they are places that you are worshiping. I don't worship that. That is a spirit of witchcraft. Whatever is against good works, that is a spirit of witchcraft. The Lord himself have that same witchcraft. But when you have not trained it, then it becomes what? That which what is opposing. Oh, let's weed. Then they say we won't weed because they don't have a purpose for weeding. Okay, let's make this as is in the Lord's word. Then you won't do it. Then you say you are lazy. But you are looking for a place to be called the person whose work and suffering is become the fruit in the end of the day. That is where the God is an arrower. That's why the God is a demon. That's why the God is a destroyer. That's why the God is, of course, all this attributed is to him. Why? Who claims the ownership of all this? The happening. But who indeed was also or is to be made known? Who they say, as for him, he is light. I have a Sunday birth, light. I came by the midnight with what? My light. The stars. That is myself. You prove what you know, what you believe, in your way of understanding in myself. Do you follow that? The Lord that you claim he made what you are watching is never anyway mentioned at the place of working. So if I say on the life, God is a fool of this or that, you ask yourself in yourself, what is the nature of suffering in you? Or judge if you have the right to go the hell of it. Or you have the right to be given. If you are a king or a son of a king, you have only a generation to rule or to become a king. You are not anyone out there to go to any level with human being when they don't deserve the place the Lord have made as a king or a princess. You don't use any opportunity to stand advantage over what? Your disadvantage that you were not born life, that we should call you life. Those who have probably lost life and become dust to this earth are the reasons, and most reason they call it spirit. Earth is not a spirit if you have understanding in yourself without what makes it even the definition. So before you go to school to understanding why they say definition. So definition could not become anything baseless. with no such thing you were trying to prove. The definition will carry the function and the doing and what probably it looks like and the form, so that in that language or the tongue that you were given, they define the thing according to what the people speak or say, that when you say this, they are to agree that you are trying to say this. That's what made definition. So when we are trying to define, or when we are with the spirit that you claim it, you know, I'm not the one worshiping shrine or the fetish. I'm not the one who have carved things to be presented to the world as lifeless. I'm talking about what made the world and why it's in the most mystery of its kind. So that you will say that my works are to be given to a poor man whose father never schooled, yet claim the place of a teacher. You say already it's abomination to do this. That's a witch. That's a wizard. And we have the computer, which is a wizard, named to what? The one using it. And the works of the wizard on computer, you don't see anybody doing any wrong, apart from you coming from a wrong side. Then the computer will be used to do wrong side. That is the spells. Now you understand why. As the name, the user or operator of a computer, a wizard, doesn't mean the computer is in the witchcraft of wrongdoing or good doing than what? That which it is used to what? Perform. So that you won't say computer itself is sitting down and scamming you or killing you. You will say that the computer get up and the Bible is on it. You will say that also that we have the farm on the computer, that we eat from the computer's farm. However, what you see with the computer is as earth, spirit, earth, and all this, because they were also created in this presence and in that terrain. So in that cause and case is the reason you cannot claim what is for Sylvester, who have worked first, Kwasi, who have worked now and have worked then and is working for the future, and January for the kingdom millennium. You can't give my place to somebody. You cannot go for your blood money, Sakawa, all that you name, and you just name it, have nothing to do with myself. That rather, you should know that if it's the spirit abound, as many spirit testing, is the reason you are accusing somebody wrongly without understanding that they are not the person, they are not the reason. When you bring on your hand, you are the one they are calling Sakawa. That Sakawa, the Sakawa have been named to what? The ring that you have put on the hand or the finger. So you the ones in marriage, that is why you are more corrupt. And that's why you are driven or led by the marine to do that same thing, which is maritime, and then the ring. Which is why they tell you somebody also is in occult, and they tell you what? They are giving him ring. As for that one, you don't agree with. Where in the Bible do you think King Solomon wearing the ring of occult or mason, which were demons given according to the same law that the Lord have given to who? Solomon. The things that he did, or all that he has to do. And you in your generation, that is not destined for such works, to mention anybody called Solomon. You are the one claiming that the Lord has paid for you and he said for you. Now, these same people in the Bible, they have all come to the level of being disobedient, or that they have rebelled against the Lord, their Lord. I have not rebelled against any Lord of any Lord, because I don't know any of them. I am the Lord who came. I will have to show you, so that you don't call the human being earth to what? Dust and earth on which you are claiming is this. What we walk on is a spirit having a form. That you are saying, if I say the name of the Lord is in the book, when now you to understand, he that is angel, because the Lord told you for his angels he made as or like flame of fire, the flame of earth and fire, so that when you have any generation of angel, you will experience air to be God. Yet they are talking of what? Creation from the forest. Do you understand it? Where he made the heaven and earth and forest. And what is heaven and earth? It is heaven and spirit. That's why he said what? In heaven the beauty, they are not a family of us.